Welcome back to Once Upon a Fun Fact, where we go beyond the happily ever after to uncover the real stories behind your favorite Disney legends. And today, we're taking a trip into the thorny thicket of one of Disney's most devilishly iconic villains, none other than Maleficent herself. She's the mistress of all evil, the queen of mean, and honestly, probably the only Disney character who could make turning into a dragon look like a runaway moment. Before she was cursing royal babies in glorious Technicolor, Maleficent's roots lay in a much older story, La Belle à Bois Dormant, better known as the Sleeping Beauty. The earliest versions date back to the 17th century France with Charles Perlet and even earlier Italian tales. But here's the thing, in those versions, the evil fairy doesn't have a name. She's more of a plot device than an actual character. Disney, being Disney, decided, you know what, let's make her the star of the drama. And so the animators gave her a name, a look, and a personality that could outshine even Aurora's golden hair. Her name, Maleficent, comes from the Latin maleficentia, literally meaning doing evil.
There's evil afoot.
What? What evil?
Subtle, right? That's like naming a kid Trouble and being shocked when they cause a problem at daycare. Maleficent is known to be the film's darkest villain. When Sleeping Beauty was released back in 1959, it was Disney's most ambitious animated film to date, and also one of the most expensive. Walt wanted it to look like a moving medieval tapestry, but while Princess Aurora gets all the marketing glory, Maleficent is the true scene stealer. She arrives at the christening uninvited because apparently they forgot to send her an RSVP. Mistake number one. She delivers one of Disney's coldest burns. Well, quite the glittering assemblage. King Stefan, royalty, nobility, the gentry, and oh, how quaint, even the rabble. Savage.
Well, quite a glittering assemblage, King Stephen. Royalty, nobility, the gentry, and... how quaint, even the rabble.
Then, instead of simply being offended, she curses the baby to on her 16th birthday from a spinning wheel. Harsh, but iconic. And the only reason Aurora survives is because Merryweather, one of the good fairies, softens the curse from to fall into a deep sleep. That little loophole will come in handy later. Let's talk about some of Maleficent's design secrets and voice acting magic. Maleficent's look was created by Disney legend Mark Davis, who also designed Cruella de Vil and Tinkerbell. He decided she should be elegant, almost regal looking, more like a dark queen than a witch. Her long black and purple robes are sharp and geometric with horns inspired by the devil himself. Her voice? That's the work of Eleanor Audley, who also voiced Lady Tremaine in Cinderella. Fun fact, Audley initially didn't want the role because she was sick at the time, but her rich, icy tone ended up being just the perfect fit. She even recorded some lines lying in bed talking about working from home before it was actually considered cool. Disney animators actually videotaped Audley performing her lines so they could capture her mannerisms, the arched eyebrows, the sly smirk, the way she holds her staff. Maleficent isn't just animated, she's actually performed. The Dragon Awakens. From the climax of Sleeping Beauty, it's one of the most intense in Disney history. Maleficent doesn't just fight Prince Philip, she transforms into a towering, fire-breathing dragon. Animator Eric Cleworth described it as one of the toughest scenes he has ever worked on. They even used real flames filmed against black backgrounds to create her fire breath. And the line before she transforms, she says in quotes, "Now shall you deal with me, O Prince, and all the powers of hell." End quotes. Except they had to tone it down for the film's G rating, replacing hell with evil. This still gives me chills.
Now shall you deal with me, O Prince, and all the powers of hell!
Now, if you thought she was scary on the screen, wait until you meet her in person. Let's talk a little bit about Maleficent and her history inside the Disney parks. Maleficent has been a staple in the Disney parks for decades, especially in parades and nighttime spectaculars. Firstly, there's the Phantasmic at Disneyland and Disney Hollywood Studios, where Maleficent transforms into a 45-foot fire-breathing dragon that sets the rivers of America ablaze. She's also notably in the Festival of Fantasy Parade at Magic Kingdom, where Maleficent appears as a massive steampunk-inspired dragon float that actually breathes real fire too. And yes, there was that infamous 2018 incident where the float caught fire for real, proving that Maleficent really commits to her bit.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That's not good. That's not supposed to happen. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Ah! Oh no! Oh no! Oh my!
Your attention, please. Due to unforeseen circumstances, this performance of Phantasmic cannot continue.
And something that's upcoming as well is the Halloween events. During Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween parties, she is one of the main villains you can meet, often towering over guests in her full horned headdress. She's also made some appearances in stage shows, villain meet and greets, and even rare villain dining events where she'll sass you for daring to eat dessert before dinner. She even has a modern rebirth. In 2014, Disney decided to reimagine Maleficent in a live-action origin story starring Angelina Jolie. Instead of a pure villain, the film portrayed her as a misunderstood anti-hero, wronged by betrayal and driven to vengeance. The film was a box office hit, and Jolie's cheekbone prosthetics became almost as iconic as the horns. A sequel, Maleficent, Mistress of Evil, followed in 2019, expanding her lore even further and introducing more of her kind. So, why she endures? Maleficent has stayed relevant for over 60 years, and why is that? Well, it's because she's more than just a Disney villain. She's charisma in a cloak. She's the ultimate Disney baddie who doesn't need to raise her voice to be terrifying. And whether she's animated, live action, or a 45-foot fire-breathing float, she commands attention every time she appears. To borrow a Disney pun, when it comes to villains, Maleficent is still the fairest of them all, and maybe the flairest too. And that's how Maleficent cast her spell on Disney history. If you enjoyed this wicked little tale, consider giving it a like. It's the easiest magic that you can do today. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss out on another episode. Until next time, stay positively Maleficent.